right now.
New at noon, a man is now facing a murder charge after a victim was found dead in the middle of a West Side street.
Police say that the victim, 28-year-old Charles Russo Martinez, was standing in the street when people inside a black pickup truck pulled up and then just shot him. Police charged 22-year-old Matthew Isaac Ortiz for that murder in the shooting that happened back on May 20th in the 4300 block of Eldridge Avenue. According to police that morning, a CPS Energy worker found Martinez lying in the street and notified police. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say that Ortiz confessed to the shooting, saying he did it because Martinez allegedly had assaulted someone in the vehicle Ortiz was in that morning of the shooting.
San Antonio police are now looking for the person who used a car horn and gun to ruin the day for a local man. They say that he was shot after he became curious about honking a horn outside his home.
As Katrina Weber reports, police are also curious because the information from the scene is far from complete.
At a time when most are in bed, a 45-year-old man has found himself being wheeled out on a stretcher. San Antonio police say they found him outside his home on Brady Boulevard near Highway 90 shortly after 4 this morning. He had been shot in the arm. Police say he told them the shooter was in a car that he heard honking its horn outside his home. He says when he stepped outside his door to check it out, someone shot him. The man was taken to a hospital and is expected to be okay. Officers stayed behind and spoke with another person who also was inside the home, hoping to learn more about what happened. Early on, police told us there were some inconsistencies with the information they were given, including exactly where the man was when he was shot. They say they still have a lot of questions. Reporting from Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Taking a look outside with live cam. It is another ditto day, 92 degrees. We might as well cut and paste at this point.
Heading up to triple-degree heat again, Justin. Any relief in sight?
No, not really. But it's a lot of cut and paste. It is true. But, look, as we look down the line, as we look into the future, so maybe next week, I do think there'll be some changes, some good changes, maybe some rain coming back into play, more cloud cover. And yes, temperatures will cool down a little bit, but not today. We're back in the same boat we've been in. 92 right now in San Antonio. We've got 101 in Midland, 102 in San Angelo. Those will be some of the hot spots today. More of a dry heat out there. But we'll also see dew points come down a little bit this afternoon, which will help with those heat indices. Like yesterday, it'll be a little more of a dry heat for us, too, by the afternoon hours. There are still excessive heat warnings, heat advisories posted for most of the state. Very few spots are not within these warnings or advisories. And as we look at the KSAT 12-hour forecast, a lot of sunny skies today. I think we'll be up around 104. That's where we were yesterday. Heat index of 108. And then down into the upper 90s by 8 o'clock and eventually 80s by tonight and 70s by tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about the El Niño when it will finally have an effect on our forecast. And we'll look at the river flows as well coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Guys?
Thank you very much, Justin. Late breaking this noon, a driver is in the hospital after a head-on crash in Loop 1604 in East Bexar County, and the investigation is causing lane closures in this area. That's according to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
BCSO says a black Tesla and a water truck crashed this morning on Loop 1604 just south of Highway 87. The driver of the Tesla was trapped but was removed and taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. The northbound and the southbound lanes of Loop 1604 are closed near Highway 87 and FM 3465. A Southside man facing a murder charge after police say that he shot his roommate. Police arrested Armando Regalado after investigators say that he shot and killed the man he lived with. The two apparently got into an argument. It all ended with a gunshot. Police say that Regalado lived in a smaller home on the same property as the victim on West Ansley Boulevard. The man who died has not been identified. Regalado is being held on $150,000 bond.
San Antonio police are looking for two people that shot a 16-year-old late last night. This happened just after 11 p.m. on the 700 block of Mizuno Way on the city's south side near Mitchell Lake. Police say the 16-year-old was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the hip. SAPD says the team told officers he was able to get away and then drive home after he was shot at a TJ Maxx warehouse. Investigators are now trying to pinpoint the crime scene and find the suspects involved.
The fallout continuing after 3 SAPD officers shot and killed a woman on Friday morning. In the aftermath of 46-year-old Melissa Perez's death, the officers are being investigated because it appears that she was suffering a mental health issue when they shot her. The officers charged in the murder, Alfred Flores, Nathaniel Villalobos, and Eliezer Alejandro, all out on bond. SAPD says those officers are temporarily suspended without pay, but they are going through with the termination process. Some city councilors are wondering why the disturbance ended with lethal force instead of mental health care.
I think it also highlights that we as a community need to do more to address mental health crisis in our city and really lead there. We're a compassionate city, and we need to make sure that we're responding to mental health crises. We can assess the situation and learn from it, because we all know we would never want this to happen again.
Meanwhile, the San Antonio Police Officers Association expressing the union's condolences, saying that the chief did follow all the necessary protocols after the shooting. We have reached out to SAPD's mental health task force, which was created to respond to cases like these, but have not yet received information as to why it was not on scene.
It's been a busy week for the Supreme Court. Today, it handed down a 6-3 decision in the major election case that could influence election laws nationwide. The justices ruled that North Carolina's Supreme Court did not overstep its bounds in striking down a congressional districting plan as excessively partisan under state law. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Some experts say this issue gets to the very core of what it is to have a free election. It decides who oversees elections and whether that authority has limits. The justices declined to invoke the so-called independent state legislature theory, which would leave state legislatures virtually unchecked by their state courts when dealing with federal elections. However, the High Court did suggest there could be limits on state court efforts to police those elections. The theory, which is backed by a group of conservative advocates, argues that state lawmakers should have the ultimate power to regulate federal elections. Experts say in its most extreme form, the theory could have a dramatic impact on how congressional maps are drawn and how voting rules are written. Adding the theory could undermine how American democracy works now, raising concerns about what it could mean for how the 2024 presidential race and other contests are run. ABC's Terry Moran breaking down this major decision.
The Supreme Court, in a 6-3 opinion, rejecting the idea that state legislatures alone have unfettered power to decide how and when and in what manner elections are conducted, the so-called independent state legislature theory.
Another redistricting case from Ohio is currently pending if the justices have more to say about the issue before next year's elections. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, coming up next in sports, Greg Popovich. That's right, Coach Pop. Speaking about the anticipation for new Spurs player Victor Wembanyama joining the current group of guys. Hear what the Spurs coach had to say.
Local college students shining on the national stage, showing off their cybersecurity skills. What they have learned isn't just making them competitive ready, they are getting ready for some in-demand jobs too. A group of local college students testing their cybersecurity skills and competing against students from all across the nation.
Yeah, this is really cool. Tiffany Huertas shares how this competition and program they're in is preparing them for the cybersecurity workforce.
In OSINT, I placed 12th out of 6,000, which was very exciting for me.
John Viner is one of the students on the team Night Hacks.
I was learning all these skills at Northeast Lakeview College, so I wanted to see how it would work and transition into a real world scenario, which was a lot of fun.
This team excelled at a cybersecurity competition.
And we compete in a variety of categories. It's like enumeration, log exploitation, all kinds of these cyber topics.
The team placed 74th out of 450 colleges and universities in the National Cyber League competition.
These college students work together for about 56 hours to solve complex cybersecurity challenges.
We work together to find these flags and solve these puzzles.
The students are part of the cyber defense program at the college.
We're very hands-on oriented, very project oriented. We have about 150 or so hands-on projects built into the curriculum.
For John, his ultimate goal is to get into the cybersecurity workforce and use the skills he learned here.
My critical thinking and how to work in a team setting with everyone. In cybersecurity, it's not just one person, it's the entire team all together that has to work together.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Very impressive there. I like the name too, the Night Hacks.
Yes.
What a name there.
And gosh, great rankings, guys.
Yeah,
Making us
congrats to them.
proud.
Absolutely.
Not proud of this week in weather. Sorry, Justin. There's just nothing good.
It's not going to work for you, huh?
No.
I got out and mowed the lawn last night. It was very hot. But I will say I'm already starting to get the brown spots in the grass. It's already happening.
I got news for you. We're completely brown at the farm.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
That's the way it's going. There's not a lot of rain in the forecast, not until we get into next week at least. In the aquifer, one of the biggest drops I've seen in a while. It's down nearly 2 feet today to 634.5. That's not good. In your pollen count, mold's low at 240. That's all we got. We'll take a look at the forecast and look down the line, see what our chances look like coming up.
Welcome back, and we're trying to find any sort of way to beat the heat, Ursula, and stay cool. Justin said he was out mowing the yard a little bit earlier today.
I was in the house watching LSU win the national championship.
Okay,
Of course.
that's the first time.
Of course we were.
That's the first time I've mentioned it all day, they're saying.
Yeah,
Not.
I flipped off the TV and went outside.
That's why you mowed the lawn.
Oh no! Congratulations. we are happy for the LSU Tigers. It was a big win. I mean, a lot of runs. Good. Congratulations.
Don't say what you want to say. You get in trouble.
I'm not going to say anything. Let's talk about El Nino. So where is the rain? We have transitioned into an El Nino. We know that. And typically that means more rain for us here across the southern half of the country. Where is it then? Well, the thing about El Nino is it typically shows up more so in the fall and winter. So we still have some time before I think we see some of the effects from this. And we're just starting to get into El Nino. So it's not like we flip a switch here and then everything gets better. That's not going to be the case. But I think as we get into, say, September, October, November, you will start to notice the differences. And we'll see more rain coming through Texas, hopefully. That's the idea anyway when we get into these El Nino type patterns. And we, we are officially into El Nino now, but it's just going to take some time. And as we look at the Guadalupe River, we did so well, again, in May, early June, but things have really fallen off now. We got the stream flows up a little bit, but they've fallen back down. Around Kerrville, it's only 5 cubic feet per second, 7 cubic feet per second around Comfort, close to zero there at Spring Branch. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't mean there's not water in the river, because there is. It's just not really moving all that much. And then as you get on the other side of the dam there, 61 cubic feet per second in New Braunfels, so we can still do some tubing here. Just know that the flow is not terribly strong, and we need some rain, as we say often around here, and it seems to have been the case over the last 2 to 3 years. 92 right now. Dew point is at 72. Heat index is at 99, so we're already pushing 100 in that sense. And the dew points are still in the 70s. We'd like to see these numbers drop off a little bit, and they will. We saw that yesterday. They dropped down into the mid to low 60s. We'll probably get there again this afternoon, but at the moment, we're still looking at dew points in the 70s, and that's keeping those heat index values pretty high. Feels like 103 in Helotes, 100 in Boulevardy, 100 in New Braunfels. Feels like 104 right now in Bandera. And the dew point trend today, as I said, we should start to see these numbers slide down into the low 60s. Still going to generate a heat index, but it may only tack on a degree or two more for the feels like number. It's a little bit better. I mean, these are small victories. This is nothing huge, but we're trying to find anything we can, to look at the positives here. 104, the forecast high, the heat index is around 108. 105, the heat index in Converse this afternoon. This is around 5 o'clock, by the way. But most everyone will still see some very hot temperatures this afternoon. And it's still at that danger level, and it's still at that level where we've got to conserve some energy. CPS energy yellow day. We've seen this for several days in a row now. And today's another one of those days where we need to conserve a little bit between 3 and 8 o'clock. And coming up here at 12:30, we'll talk about the energy consumption of what we have going on here across Texas with ERCOT. I've got more data on that here in just a little bit. Satellite and radar shows we've got some storms moving into Arkansas. These are severe storms. This is around the edge of our ridge of high pressure. Oftentimes you'll get storms there, but we're underneath the high, which means no rain for several more days until our high finally starts to scoot east a little bit. This takes probably until Sunday. Then after that, it even weakens a little bit. So I think that opens the door Monday into Tuesday for some small rain chances. I'm not going to get too excited about it yet because I don't think it's great, but it is there. 102 Wednesday, 100 Thursday, 100 Friday, and then we finally start to see those temperatures subside ever so slightly. 99 Sunday, 98 on Monday. And see, Ursula, I kept the 99. I didn't take it away.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We've got 4 more days.
Yeah.
Hope alive. Every little degree matters.
It does.
Especially in this heat. All right, the Spurs looking to get back on the court after being on Wemby watch for the past week or so. We'll look ahead at the schedule and when fans will get to see Victor Wembanyama in silver and black. And there was a big party in Omaha last night as we crowned a new college baseball king. And here's a hint. Ursula's wearing her purple pride right now. Feeling good about this. Talk about this game. Sports is coming up right after the break. As Wemby Mania continues to take over San Antonio, the Silver and Black are set to get to work here pretty soon. The Spurs will be holding a few practices at their facility this week before they head to Sacramento to participate for the first of their 2 Summer League competitions. Then it's off to Vegas, while Wembanyama will just be starting to adjust to the rigors of the NBA. There is one advantage that he already has. He is becoming part of a team that is already coming off of a rough season, to say the least. But Spurs head coach Greg Popovich told us last week that despite their record, it was actually an enjoyable season.
It was fun in a way, not being on TV much, and you just go to work and you don't worry about results other than players developing and a team understanding going forward. And they were A+ in all those regards, and they stuck together. Where a lot of teams that are in that situation really implode. So I was really proud of them, respected the hell out of them for being able to have that kind of mental toughness. And that's what they'll carry forward into this season.
All right, just going to take a guess, but they're going to be on TV a lot this year. So let's look at the schedule here with the California Classic starting up. The Spurs will face the Hornets on the 3rd and then the Lakers on the 5th. Then the Summer League moves to Las Vegas. The Spurs have 4 games on their schedule. That includes Charlotte again, and then the Portland Trailblazers, the Wizards, and the Pistons. The Spurs announced their preseason home schedule as well. Those games include an October 13th date there, game with the Miami Heat. Then it's back-to-back games against the Rockets on the 16th and 18th. These are all at the AT&T Center.
Oh, you gonna miss the food?
I'm gonna find a way to bring some European and French food back over there.
And what excites you most, and what do you hope to work on this summer?
Breakfast tacos. I haven't been able to do much, I've had time to eat some tacos, but that's pretty much it.
All right, well, it seems like so far just about every interview Wembanyama has done has been about food and tacos specifically, as you could see there. That's come up. He has already been seen around town, different places, establishments. Right there you see him with Sean Elliott, David Robinson, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan having dinner there with Wemby. And Sunday night on Instant Replay, we wanted to know which breakfast taco do you recommend for Wemby, and the overwhelming answer was barbacoa with Big Red. Okay, I don't know. I'm more of a bacon and egg guy, or potato and egg. Yeah. All right, and some other sports news, because yes, the rest of the sports world, the rest of the sports world has been moving on. LSU cranked up its offense a day after it gave up the most runs ever in a College World Series game and won the first national title for the program since 2009 with an 18-4 win over those Florida Gators in Game 3 there. LSU lost Game 2, but they staved off elimination 3 times in bracket play and bounced back from a 24-4 loss in Game 2 to claim, yes, Ursula, the 7th championship here. That's only second to USC's 12 titles. The Tigers wiped away an early 2-0 lead or deficit there with a 6-run second inning. Congrats to the Tigers getting it done in Omaha. And I know you're really excited about this.
Go Tigers.
You haven't talked about it at all today.
I just have been trying to keep it cool and low-key, but,
Wearing your LSU shirts, ready to go.
Have you seen my shoes?
I have not. Okay, here we go. Wow, those are impressive.
I got a little tiger on them.
Those are impressive. Justin's just not happy.
He's throwing up over there. All right, an estimated 37 million Americans, this is not a laughing matter though, are having a tough time managing their diabetes. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, managing this can be tricky. How the extreme heat can make it even more difficult to manage the illness.
All right, and do you have baby food at home? All right, for years, they've been scrutinized for containing toxic heavy metals, things that have been linked to a variety of health problems for infants. 5 years ago, Consumer Reports tested some of the top brands to find out which were the most concerning. And today at 5, we're retesting those products. Was it enough time for companies to correct the issue, or are there still concerns about your baby's favorite jar of food? Marilyn Moritz has the story today on the news at 5.
And USA Live is turning pickles into paletas.
Oh, wow.
Now, I could dig on that.
Pickle paletas. I love that.
Good idea.
Good
Perfect. All right, we're going to check in with them in a little bit. And this is a bit disturbing. The United States seeing its first cases of malaria contracted here in 20 years. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that 4 cases have turned up in Florida and 1 person here in Texas has contracted the disease. The cases do not appear to be linked to each other. The CDC says typically Americans contract malaria while they're traveling overseas. So this small outbreak is highly unusual. Malaria often spread through mosquitoes, blood transfusions, organ transplants, as well as unsafe needle sharing.
And we're all feeling this, the Texas heat, and it can be a lot for anyone to handle, but summer can especially be hard on those with diabetes. Health experts say diabetes may cause a person to feel the heat differently than someone who doesn't suffer from it. CNN's Mandy Gaither talks to a doctor about how to manage diabetes as it gets hotter outside.
The temperature keeps climbing, and for the millions who suffer from diabetes, the heat is especially hazardous.
Your body sensation and how it metabolizes or interprets the heat, how it responds to heat, really differs in individuals with diabetes.
Dr. Jesse Bracamonte with Mayo Clinic says it's critical to check sugars frequently when it's hot outside. Soaring temperatures can cause episodes of low blood sugar.
If people have well-controlled sugars and they're active during the day, they may find that their sugars drop. Heat actually makes your metabolism speed up and you use a little bit more insulin, and then therefore that sugars may drop.
On the other hand, Bracamonte says the heat can also raise sugar levels if you get dehydrated. He says to drink plenty of water, limit alcohol, caffeine, and other sugary drinks which can lead to dehydration, and avoid going out during the hottest part of the day. When you are outside, dress appropriately with light-colored loose clothing.
Helps your body breathe and really helps to dissipate some of that extra heat that you normally would retain.
Since those with diabetes have to pay special attention to foot health to avoid potential nerve damage or sores, Bracamonte says to not walk outside barefooted this summer.
Heat and the cement and the temperature from the ambient walkway can cause severe damage to your feet and in some cases put you in the hospital. So appropriate footwear is key.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The doctor says it's also critical that insulin and diabetes supplies like monitors and sensors not be kept in the heat. He says high temperatures can damage the medicine and sensors. He says to follow the manufacturer's guides on how to properly stow your medication and supplies.
Taking a look outside with live cam, not much to look out, not a cloud in the sky. All you can see is that it's 94 degrees. But you did say that the humidity is going to start lessening.
Some. I mean, we still got dew points around 70 right now. But if we can get those dew points in the low 60s this afternoon, it helps a little bit. But yesterday was still blazing hot. You got to find a way to cool down, just like this dog on our KSAT Connect. Now, see, that's cute.
Shades on.
That's super cute.
Looking really fly there on the float. I'm sure he's enjoying the water there too. Love the pictures. And yeah, you got to keep the dogs cool this time of year as well. And find those lakes and rivers. Temperatures today, forecast to be around 104. The heat index close to 107. We're going to rate that in the extreme category. You know, we had dew points higher than this last week, and we had heat indices up around 115. But I'd still say that number's not good. You don't want to be out and about for very long with those kind of numbers. And if you look across the country, it is still places like Seattle and Portland that continue to be very comfortable. 57 in Seattle, 65 in Portland, 71 New York City. And yes, there's a lot of heat across the South in general, but it is Texas that really is taking it on the chin right now. 101 in Midland, it's 102 in San Angelo. We're at 92, but the heat index is up around 100. The entire state now in the 90s and climbing. There's going to be a lot of triple digits today, and that includes here in San Antonio. When does the heat finally subside? We will look at that, and we'll look at energy demand and see where we stand today with all this heat across Texas coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. The Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, it goes into effect today. This law gives accommodations to workers affected by pregnancy, childbirth, or other related health issues. The PWFA is different than the laws in place that prohibit the firing and discrimination of pregnant workers. Instead, this new law focuses on making work easier for pregnant employees with known limitations. Some examples of reasonable accommodations include having longer break times, closer parking spots, flexible hours, and exemption from labor-driven jobs. Employers covered by PWFA include private and public sectors with at least 15 employees, as well as Congress, federal and employment agencies, and labor groups.
The state of Texas plans to pay a company hundreds of thousands of dollars in an effort to block migrant crossings on the Rio Grande. According to a copy of the contract, Cochrane USA was awarded a base contract of $850,000 to deploy floating border barriers in the river. Governor Greg Abbott says the first 1,000 feet of floating marine barrier will be placed near the city of Eagle Pass in Maverick County. Now, records state that Texas is scheduled to deploy the barriers early next month, but according to the International Boundary and Water Commission, the governor has not obtained permits to deploy the buoys from the commission.
Russian authorities announcing that they are closing the criminal investigation into the armed rebellion led by Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, and they are pressing no charges against him or his troops. Yeah, this is an ongoing situation there. ABC's Patrick Reville explains it's the latest twist in a series of events that puts pressure on Russian President Putin's rule during the 16-month war against Ukraine.
This morning, Vladimir Putin seeking to emphasize he's back in control following the mercenary rebellion that shook his rule. The Russian president addressing troops and security services officers on a square in the Kremlin. Putin thanking them, telling them they stopped a civil war by not siding with the Wagner group and its leader Yevgeny Prigozhin as they advanced on Moscow. Putin flanked by his security chiefs, including Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, a pointed sign Putin's rejected Prigozhin's demand to remove him. Last night, Putin also addressing the nation in a late-night address, effectively amnestying Wagner fighters, saying they can join the Russian military, go home, or leave for Belarus. The rebels' leader, Prigozhin, on Monday also speaking for the first time, posting an audio message saying his revolt was not an attempt to overthrow the government, but a protest against efforts to disband Wagner. Prigozhin allegedly allowed also to leave for Belarus, but the episode still seeming to expose an extraordinary weakness in Putin's regime. President Biden weighing in publicly for the first time since the uprising, stressing the US and NATO allies were not involved.
I will keep making sure that our allies and our partners are closely aligned in how we are reading and responding to the situation.
But as Putin tries to shore up his rule at home, the war that made the mutiny possible rages on, with Ukraine still pressing its counteroffensive.
Vladimir Putin again trying to project strength and control the narrative around this failed coup, but his own statements making clear how serious a threat it was to his regime, something that was unthinkable just a few days ago. Patrick Reville, ABC News, Izium, Ukraine.
The travel headaches continue, even days ahead of an expected holiday rush. The FAA blaming the weather. However, at least one airline says it's the agency that's dropping the ball. The effect this is having on travelers coming up.
It's the end of freeloading at the Costco self-service checkout. How the wholesale giant is now cracking down on membership sharing.